Main brains of the van, we have this control panel. This one works the aircon. This one works your shows you how much water you have in your water tanks, how much batteries coming in, how much you've got left. This one here, you've got to always, if you come in a little bit closer, you'll actually see on the bottom here it says pump 1 and 2. This button here with the water droplet, it will actually allow you to turn the pump on and off. So what you want, pump 1 to be on. So you hold that and that comes over to on. Pump 2 will always stay on. You don't worry about that. That's just an extra that isn't under there. To turn the pump on and off every time you finish with the water, so you just hold this and it goes across to off. To turn this control panel off when you're sleeping, you just press this button here. It should just turn off by itself. If it doesn't, you hold this button. To turn that control panel on, you hit this button. This is the stereo, which is just an on button here, which will light up orange. It'll come up the radio. I've got it on 103.7, but you can put it on whatever you like. And if you're sitting outside, you hit this button and you can change the position of where your speakers are. So if you want to sit outside and listen to the radio or sit inside, it's entirely up to you. You can hook your phone to it. It does all the Bluetooth stuff. And then to turn it off, you just hold it and it turns off. So moving on to the bedroom. Very, very simple. It's got one of these light things as well, which the button's here to turn it on and off. It's got the blind, so you can shut it to get the sun out. It's also got one of them vents as well, which you can lift up and down. There are some USB ports and chargers inside here to charge your phone on the back wall. It's also got these lights here, so when you're reading or something like that, you can always have that on and play with those. This has got some extra storage up here, so you can put stuff in there. We've got, this is your double bed. Under the bed, you can lift it up. You can put more stuff under the bed if you wish. We've got your bedside drawers. Inside the bedside drawers is where you'll find TV remote, aerial cable, some legs for the TV, and that's where that lives. So the aerial cable, which we'll get onto in a moment. Okay, this is just a quick tutorial on how to work the TV. When you're traveling, or when you want to watch the TV, just be careful that it doesn't hit the wall, which might happen. So all you got to do, this little bit here slides into here when you want to watch the TV. So if you're watching it from bed or whatever, you can also spin it around to watch it in the dining room while you're eating dinner. How it works, this cord here plugs into this little socket here. I'll just move that out of the way so you can see it. Plugs into there. You'll see a little light hit your remote, turn it on. There's an aerial cord here, which is in this drawer. You screw this one in here, and you put the cord in the back there. When you're traveling, and make sure if you want to boost, you put the red light on. Very, very simple. But the most important thing is when you're traveling with the TV, you've got to take the TV out of there, unplug it, just hold the cord like that, lift this up gently, and it should just slide out carefully without hitting anything. Most important. Then you just fold him up like this, and you lay him nice and flat on the bed like that. Can't travel with this TV connected to the wall because it'll bounce out and it'll smash the hell out of it, and that's not good. To work the lights here is that switch just there, which is this one here. This one here on the wall works the bedroom light. And if you need to turn everything off in a hurry, the circuit breaker's here. And you just hit this circuit breaker. I won't do it because it'll turn everything off, but in an emergency, you just hit this button. Now we move on to the kitchen, where you'll see we have a microwave. That's a microwave convection oven. I'm not 100% sure how to use it, so all I know is you open the door and press buttons. Then you have the fridge, which you don't need to touch any buttons or anything on the fridge. It's all preset. It's just a matter of push this button on the side here, and that'll open the door. It's just a nice gentle close, and you'll even hear the fridge go, and it forms a nice suction in there as well. So even with the bottom of the door as well, it's the same thing. Plenty of storage in there. That's very cold in there at the moment. So yeah, you don't need to touch anything on the fridge. You just put your stuff in there and away you go. And then moving on to the kitchen, you'll see you've got these drawers. It's just a matter of press the button and open the drawer, And then it's just a nice gentle close when you're finished. That's how you do that one. Moving on to this one, it's the same thing. Under there, you'll see your water filtration. You don't need to touch any of that filtration stuff. It's all preset, ready to rock and roll. When you want to use your water, this is your filtered side. This is your normal side, hot, cold, and that's just on with your filter. You've got a couple of different power points over here, which we don't need to worry about. This one is for your stove, to turn your electric stove off under here. We also have one of these blockout blinds as well of a night time to keep it cool in here as well. When you're cooking, very, very simple. You lift up this, open up this. These things have to be open, and the vent in the main bedroom needs to be open as well when you're cooking with here. It's electric, gas, and then it's got the little cooker, like a grill down underneath there. To light it, you just press this button. I won't do that now, but you press this button, you hold this, that's the starter. You push that in and you hold it and you twist it until it lights. On the electric one, you just turn this knob until you hit where you want it to go, and it's all labeled which one does what. So that's very, very simple. And then when you finish, make sure it's cool before you pack everything up and shut it down. And then you just shut the door like that, shut the door like that. And all these cupboards are pretty much the same. They just open. They've got pots and pans and things in there. Same as these ones up here, which I should have done before. Just a little thing under there, as you can see, if my lovely wife would zoom in. This one here, that's how you open it from that. So then it's just a matter of a nice gentle shut like that, and that's how you do it. And that's how you do this one as well. Just a nice open and shut door. This one's a little bit tight because it's brand new, so you just sort of got to push it and then open it. Whereas if you just gently close it, but if you try to, oh no, it's working quite well now. So yeah, and that's that one. Moving on to this couch. Before I do the couch, I will show you these. These are the same lights we have in the bedroom. It's just a matter of touch, and it gives you a different color, which is that little switch there. I'll turn it on and off. USB and C's are here to charge, and you can position them anywhere you like. So if you want to read a book or something like that, you can do that. Moving on to the table. Now, it's very simple. When it's traveling, it's got to be like this. Has to be down, and then there's a cushion which is under the bed, which goes on there. To operate the table, a little lever here. Sorry about the feet. And then there's a button here on the bottom. We'll push this one back in, just so you can see it. There's that button there. You push this button when you pull that out, and it just comes up like that. And then to put it down, it works exactly the same way. You put your foot on there, and you push it down like that, and it locks in. And then you just push it back like that. Always be careful that it doesn't hit that cupboard there. And that's that one there. That's very, very simple. This cupboard is the main brains. We don't need to worry about this cupboard. We don't need to open it. And then these cupboards just work the same with a bit more storage. Moving on to these switches. You've got lights for outside. These ones turn your bedroom lights on and off. You've got lights under here, which gives you more light. Moving on to the control panel. This is for your air conditioner. Now it's all preset, so all you have to do is just press this button. The air conditioner will turn on. When you finish playing with the aircon, we'll let that go for a second. And then to turn it, we'll just press it, and it should turn off. It's not up there, so a couple of minutes it'll turn off. There we go. So now we're into the bedroom. These are the 3 bunks. Obviously, you use your ladders to climb up. These bunks will have these little lights up here, which go white and blue. You can also charge your phones from these, the USBs, and I think they're also C's. Each bunk's got one. On each bunk also, it's got a fan, there's a button just on the side, which gives you the fan, which makes it nice and cool in here as well. It does have one of these vents as well, so you can block out the sun if it's too bright. And you've also got these little vent here as well that you can open to let more fresh air in. Just remember, when you're traveling though, you need to just keep it closed. That's that one. So we'll just turn that, or leave that on. So then you've got the cupboard. It's just a matter of push the door, and the door will open. In there's a bit of storage. So more storage down in this one. As you can see, it's just a simple matter of just pressing this and the handle will come out so you can open and close. It's very, very simple. And under here, you have a washing machine as well. It's a very small washing machine, but does the job. It's a great little machine. When you're on tank water, I wouldn't use it too much unless you're hooked onto mains though. And it's the same thing. It's just a matter of push the door, and that's now closed. The bathroom door, when you're finished in the bathroom and you're traveling, always just latch it like that, and that stops it from moving. Okay, to start with, if you want to use your light up top here, little switch turns the light on and off. A fan will also, when you make a bad smell in here, and you also got a vent here as well to open. So when you're traveling, always make sure the vent's down. And if it does start raining, please remember to shut the little flap here. Across here, you have a little cupboard with some toilet paper, so you never know when you need some of that stuff. And then just to open that is just a little latch on the bottom there, and it will just open the door. You also have a light under here, which will turn on and off. So that's that one. And then this is your hot water, where your water comes out. Hot is this way, left is this way. Simple matter of just turn that on, and you obviously turn on the pump when you're on tanks, which I'll show you the pump on the main system later on. Okay, over on here, this one here works a little light up there in that corner, just to give you a little bit more light. Along here, you've got some towel rails, so you can hang your wet towels. You've got your toilet roll holder down here. Under this cupboard, you've got your toilet product, which we'll go through in a sec. So when you're filling up the toilet, always see the lines here. You want to just drop it down by 1. So if you say it's at the 400, you want to drop it down to there. You also want to add 2 litres of water to the canister down here. Don't mind that. Okay, so you can also twist this toilet like that. So you do your business, you open up the valve, open up that, you'll hear it suck, and then when you finish, you just press this button and it'll squirt water. And then when you're finished, just close the door, and that stops anything coming through when you're traveling. You can always turn the seat that way, it gives you a little bit more space. This is a block out blind, so you don't want people to see in. You also can separate that if you want to open the window, which is just undo those and do that and push the window out. Just be careful what's on the outside. So we want a bit of privacy, so we'll just shut that there. Moving on to the shower, there is, we'll start inside. Very, very simple. Same setup as these fans and these up here. You've got a light up here. You've got a little thing here that you can open up the valve, and you can turn everything on. That opens up the vent, so you can let your steam and stuff out. Then you've got your gold shower unit there. If you flick it to the right, you can also move this up and down. If you flick it to the right, it gives you hot water. Flick it to the left, it makes it a bit colder. You don't need to have that on full belt when you're on tank. The less that you have out, the less water that you'll use. You've got about 180 odd so litres, which will go reasonably quick. So you've got to always be aware of water usage when you're having a shower. When you finish having a shower and you say you're going to travel, that will just stay like that. But when you come to the door, this is the most important, is you've got to put the door like this, push this one up, and get this little knob here and stop that. That way it doesn't come open when you're traveling. And that's the bathroom toilet, a quick rundown. Hope that's helped you with the bathroom side of things. And if there's a fire, or hopefully there's not, there is a fire extinguisher down here, which is located there, and I'm sure everyone knows how to work a fire extinguisher. With the door, when you're sleeping in here of a night time, sometimes it's a little bit tight there. Just mind the feet. So you've just got to give it a little pull, and then now you're locked in. There is a blind here on the door, which you just pull down like this, which is a block out blind as well. Otherwise people can see in when you're sleeping. And to put that one away, we just push this one back up here. We find the little tag. We put the tag through here, through there, and that's it. And it's done. And then to unlock to get out is just that, and now we can get out. You can separate the door, which is just turn the handle up, which will separate the main door from this door. But you can still have this open and locked of a night time to let the nice cool breeze in as well, if you wish. There's a couple of switches here. Some work outside, some work inside. One will work the lights on the outside. And that's pretty much everything on the inside. You've got some speakers. Just enjoy the van as much as we do, and make lots and lots of memories.